Cambodia, a small country in Southeast Asia, bordering Thailand and Laos to its north and Vietnam to its south and its east. The country is home to around 15 million people, 80% of which live in rural areas and small villages. 1/3 of Cambodians have an income of less than $3 per day. Whilst school enrollment is high for young children, less than 50% complete primary education. This is because many families struggle to maintain an income without having their children working as well, in fields, stalls, or even rummaging through garbage. In addition to this, many parents who are also uneducated are unable to see the purpose of sending their children to school. Studies by GEM and the United Nations have shown that education can improve communities and countries at their core. A single year of primary education can increase a boy's future income potential by 15%, with even more for young girls. In fact, this is true even if individuals return to work in agriculture after having received their education. The benefits to women and children are significant. Young women who receive a high school education experience a reduction in the rate of teen pregnancy and teen marriage by over 65%. And if the mother of a child is educated, children are 50% more likely to survive past 5 years of age, more than 50% less likely to contract HIV/AIDS, and over 50% more likely to receive life-saving immunizations. Educated mothers are also 65% more likely to survive childbirth. For young Cambodians, being able to speak English and being computer literate gives them a huge advantage when seeking employment, as tourism has risen from virtually 0 to 30% of the country's total GDP in the last 20 years. It also allows young Cambodians to compete with expats and foreigners for their jobs in their own country. This is why the funds raised from this exhibition are so important. Together, we can make the difference by igniting lasting, permanent change for the better for thousands of young people throughout Cambodia, who will perpetually enrich and inspire their communities, families, and country for many years to come.
Hello, my name is Julie Latch and I'm the director of the Have a Heart for Cambodia project. Not far from our shores is a very special country where life has been extremely hard and continues to be hard for many. But despite this, the people smile and welcome. The country is Cambodia, to Australia's north. It is a country that needs our help. For thousands of children, their lives are so unlike ours. They don't assume they will have an education. They don't go home to play with toys or read. More than likely, they are working in some way by the age of 10 or 11. Approximately 1/3 of the Cambodian population lives on less than $2 per day. Education in Cambodia costs 25 cents for primary school children and $1.20 per day for secondary school. But many Cambodians are so poor they can't even afford this. For many thousands of Cambodian children, their lives will begin and end the same. They can't plan for a future, but with us, they might just have one. Opportunities of Development Through Art is a registered NGO established by Len Toch in 2003. He and his wife Sri On's objective was to offer a safe environment with the basic necessities of life to disadvantaged children who have no one or no one to be able to care for them. Today, the wonderful ODA family residence for disadvantaged children, built on a dream by this very special Khmer couple and supported by an equally amazing volunteer coordinator, Shirley Howe, an Australian who went for weeks in 2009 and stayed ever since, operates on 2 levels. Firstly, the ODA family residence, which fully cares for and guides the children who live there with a traditional Khmer respectful, caring life and a full education for them to meet the changing face of Cambodia's future. ODA currently supports 33 children at their family home. It may seem a strange thing to say of a refuge, but the children under ODA's care here are really extremely lucky, as it is a sad fact of life in Cambodia that 2 to 3 meals a day and primary and secondary education are not enjoyed by many children at all, with hunger being a critical issue. Currently, 12 students from the ODA family are studying at university, with approximately half the support coming from the ODA University Fund, donated by kind people who wish to assist in educating for the poor children here. Secondly, ODA has now expanded its response to the educational needs of over 700 poor subsistence farm children in remote outlying villages 30 to 40 kilometres out of Siem Reap. These children are too far out and their families too poor to afford Khmer school education, let alone English. These two together are the key to breaking the cycle of poverty for village children. Leng set up first 1, then 2, and now 7 village night free English schools in outlying villages to meet this need for the village children's English education to assist them to improved future employment opportunities. These night classes began under houses with one 5-watt globe supplied by an ancient battery. Children sat on the dirt floor and wrote in the semi-dark conditions and amazingly chanted their lessons out with the English songs and words floating over the surrounding darkened rice fields. ODA provides this free English education to outlying village children in order that they may be qualified for employment in the future and break the cycle of poverty for them and their families. In the busy, crowded city of Phnom Penh, you will find our second program. The Bong Pa-On program, led by Sue Hannah and her amazing team, is making such a difference to Cambodian children whose lives began in the city's slums.
Hi, I'm Sue Hannah and I'm the director of Bong Pa-On here in Cambodia. Bong Pa-On started in 2009 by a French missionary who was here, and he had his heart broken by the plight of street working children on the streets here in Phnom Penh. So he decided he would do something about that, and he just teamed up himself like a big brother with one of the kids that he was working with on the street. And he walked alongside him for a little while. He got to know his family. He would go and visit him in the slums, and so that is how Bong Pa-On started. Bong means older sibling and Pa-On means younger sibling. So Bong Pa-On is still operating today, and now we are focusing on slum living children and their families, and our aim is 3 E's: education, employment and eternal transformation. Our aim with education is to get the kids who are out of school back into school. And we facilitate that for them. We get them into school. We're working with the authorities and with the principals in the school. And it's hard. Some of these kids are 10, 11, 12 years old and starting in grade 1. So it's really hard for those kids to stay motivated and stay in school. And that's where our bongs, the older siblings, like the big brothers or the big sisters, they walk alongside these slum living children and just encourage them and motivate them and tell them to persevere and keep going even though it's hard at school. If I sit with a group of kids living in the slums and we just sit around together and I ask them, if you had a full life, what would it look like? It takes them that long to tell me I go to school. So for a slum living kid here in Phnom Penh, a full life for them means they go to school. And the next most common answer from them is, I am clean. So that's why the centres that we run for Bong Pa-On, they have showers, the kids can come and have showers and get clean and go to school. And for our kids to be clean and to go to school, that is the ultimate, that is a full life for them. And there is so much joy and satisfaction and excitement in their faces when you see them going off to school in clean school uniforms and feeling like, I'm a real person, I've got a future, I've got a hope. It's well worth it, and we would love for you to partner with us in this journey. Thanks a lot.